So, the invitation this morning is to think about your story. So, what is your story this morning? How did you wake? And we all, I think, like good stories. We all are the self-identified hero of the story, and I think that's the way it's intended to be. And we all are troubled by internal things, external things, perhaps philosophical things right now. As Liz was mentioning, we're troubled by some external things that we can't help but be aware of all the time. And we know we can't solve all these things by ourselves. And so we seek guidance, we seek support. And the question and the invitation is, where are you getting your support? Where are you seeking your support? What are you trusting in? And who are your teachers? So yeah, you have a yoga teacher, but we also have many, many other teachers, and we put our trust in different places. And although it's awesome to be informed, um, we, for me personally, I can't put all my trust in NPR or any other news source. My trust has to be something way more foundational, way more, I guess, for lack of a better term, way more eternal than the news. And sometimes it's the hawks on the thermals when I'm out riding, or I was pulling dandelions yesterday. It's the bees working in the dandelions while I'm pulling the ones that have already gone to seed. So we know that this practice is eternal. And we know that when we're embodied in our practice, that there's a great comfort there, a great support there, and a great trust there. So I just would invite you to focus on that today as we move in our bodies. So we'll start on our backs. So you can come to your mat on your back. And just take a nice big long stretch, like you're just waking up to your story. Pressing through your heels, toes pulled back towards your shins, and press your arms away. And then open up into a star position. So feet wide and arms wide. And press through your right heel and reach through your right arm. And release and press through your left heel and left arm. Reach away. And just go back and forth. So same side, reaching, stretching. You'll feel it through your armpit and the side body, and maybe all the way down the outer leg. And then just begin to, once you've done an even number on both sides, reach through the left leg, right arm. So you're going across the midline. Reach through the right heel, left hand. And go back and forth a few times that way. Yes. And then come back to center. Bring your knees into your chest. Bringing the lower back, the lumbar spine flat into the floor. And rocking back and forth a few times, side to side. Just feel the muscles around your spine, how that feels this morning. And then take both hands, one to each knee, and on your inhale, take your knees out wide and forward, and on your exhale, bring your knees into center. So inhale, take the knees wide, bring them around, exhale, into center. And just continue that little pattern for a few rounds. And as we scan through the body on the floor, you get a lot of feedback from the floor. So this is just the the portion of practice that allows us to see where we are in our bodies this morning. Great. Bring your left foot to the floor. Bring your right knee into your chest. Hopefully you have your belt handy, your strap handy. If not, you can drag it closer to you. So right knee into your chest. And then just take your right hand on your right knee and just make some circles with the right knee, feeling into your right hip. And extend your right leg up towards the ceiling. You can take your left leg long if that's okay for your back. Interlace your hands behind your right leg. Slide your shoulder blades underneath, pressing your shoulder blades into the floor. Pull back against your leg and press your leg into your hands. Okay. So feel an opening behind your knee and in the hamstring. And then from here, either bend your knees, take your peace fingers around your big toe. So that the index, middle finger around the toe and the thumb presses on those nails, those two nails, and then take your leg out to the right. If you don't quite have the body structure for that, you can use a strap around the ball of your right foot and take your leg out to the right with the strap. Left hip might pick up off the floor slightly, that's okay. And then inhale, bring the right leg up and over into a gentle twist. So come across midline, right leg reaches to the left, right arm out to the side, to the right, and scoop your belly button back towards the right side. Inhale back to center and take the strap off. Bring both knees back into your chest. Rock back and forth a few times, neutralizing the hips, lower back, and then take your right foot to the floor, left knee in to your chest. And then with your left hand on your knee, just take some circles with the left knee. And you can take that in both directions. And then left leg up to the ceiling, just straight vertical. And if you can't quite straighten your leg, that's fine. Right leg can go long on the mat. Interlace your hands behind your left leg first and take the opposite grip that you did last time. Press your leg into your hands, pull back with your hands, and see if you can get your shoulder blades, as much of your shoulder blades on the floor as possible. Opening the back of the left knee, behind the left knee, left hamstring. And breathing through. Then bend your knee, take your peace fingers around your big toe or your strap and bring your left leg out to the left. If you have a lot of space and availability to do this, you can allow you can press with your right hand down on the right side, the right hip flexor. And then inhale back to center. Take your left leg across midline. And then come back to center. And now take both feet in the strap, pressing up. Take the strap on the ball, around the balls of your feet, just behind the ball of the foot, and pull down with the strap so your whole upper arm is into the floor. Whole upper arm, so elbows bent, whole upper arm into the floor. Press into the strap with both feet. And then release, take the belt, set it to the side, And take the soles of your feet back to the floor. And here, just let your knees move back and forth softly, side to side. Okay, and then from here, we'll come on to our side. So just roll on to one side. Bring your knees out from your hips, about 90 degrees or so, and rest your head on your shoulder. So you feel the whole side body that's next to the floor sort of hammocking down to the floor. And on your exhale, you'll press into your forearm and lift your side waist away from the floor. And then you'll release and let your side body hammock down towards the floor. So press into the forearm and feel the side body engaged, and then release back down. And press, feel the side body pulling away from the floor. And then this last time, just take a few breath cycles, really letting your side waist hammock down towards the floor. If it's okay for your head, you can rest your head on your shoulder. Great, and then press yourself up. Bottom leg stays bent, top leg comes out straight. And then you'll just come over that top leg, that straight leg, side bending. And then inhale the hands back to center. Place your hand to the outside of the bent leg and go back and forth with that pattern. Feeling an opening along each side body. The next time you come to the bent leg side, press into the shin and lift yourself off the floor, keeping the straight leg touching the floor. Reach almost like you're making the C shape in the body. So reach your top arm down towards the floor and feel a big side opening here. And then set your hips back down and turn yourself around. So now you're on the opposite side, resting on your forearm. You're going to let your side body work towards the floor. On the exhale, press into the forearm and lift your side waist off the floor, and then relax back down to the floor. So you get that hammocking action in the side waist. And just do that a few times, really connecting to your obliques, the side waist muscles. And then let yourself just relax here and take one full breath cycle, letting this side hammock down towards the floor. And then press yourself up, bottom leg stays bent, top leg goes out straight. And we'll begin that same vinyasa, so just reaching over towards the straight leg, and then hand to the outside of the bent leg, and moving back and forth at your own pace, your own speed. Because really, we get to write our own story every day, and everything that we're doing, we are the author and the hero. So back and forth. If you want to stay a little bit longer on one side, you can do that. And the next time your hand comes to the bent leg side, press into that shin and lift yourself up, reaching the long leg away and letting the top arm drape towards the floor, getting a really nice side body stretch. And then drop your hips back down. And then come to Sukhasana. So easy seat. If you have the ability to stack your ankles a little bit more under your knees, right, you can do that. So there'll be lots of variations because we have lots of different bodies. So if you find that your knees are raised up, you can come up onto the edge of a blanket, or you can come up onto a block, and that'll get the hips a little bit higher than the knees. So pick up a position that's comfortable for you. Inhale, reach the arms up, and exhale, fold. And here you might have your hands on a block. You might have your hands on the floor. You might have your whole body draped down towards the floor. Early in the practice, so be kind. And then walk your hands over to the right. And through center and over to the left. And back to center and press up. Great. Now come to your knees. And we'll curl the toes under and come into Vajrasana, the broken toe pose or the lightning pose. So toes are curled under, and you're going to rest your hips on your heels, maybe. Or you might have a block in between the heels and the hips. Or you might have your hands forward. So Vajrasana, the lightning bolt pose, so toes turned under. So the soles of the feet get really tight, especially if we're doing a lot of hiking and walking and running and things like that. So here, just take 2 rounds of breath. See if you can be comfortable in this relatively uncomfortable posture. At least for me, it's uncomfortable. And then release. And you can take the tops of your feet, bang them into the floor. Okay, and then we'll come to Virasana, the hero's pose. So your block will come between your ankles. So you want to squeeze the block with your ankles and then set your sit bones on the block. Then you'll need your strap here. You need your strap. So if you have the ability, if you have a strap that tightens, great. If not, you can try, if you have a TheraBand, you could tie it together and make it kind of like 2 rounds of it, so make it kind of tight. And then the strap is going to go right between the elbow and the wrists. Between the elbows and the wrists. Okay. So let some strap happen in there. And here in your Virasana, press against the strap. I'll turn this way for a little bit of visual. Press again, out against the strap. Pressing out against the strap. As you press in with the ankles, squeeze the block with your ankles. Now notice what happens in your spine. So if you feel your spine rounding and you're slumping, draw the lumbar spine in. If you feel overarching and the low ribs poking out, draw the low ribs in and pull the tailbone down slightly. So everyone's gonna have a little different response. I tend to do these effort things with my back, so I get overarching here. Good. Now, can you bring your arms slightly behind your head? And then release. Release the strap down. Shake out, roll your shoulders up, down, and back. Keep squeezing the block between the ankles, and then take your strap and drape it so you have it in your right hand, and you'll drape it behind you. Reach around with your back hand, palm out, and take the strap. And then walk your hands towards one another. Now, the left hand, for me, it's my left hand, the hand that's behind your back, notice if that shoulder is reaching forward and see if you can bring your shoulder back. So scoot that shoulder blade back and down so that your bottom hand shoulder is not tipping forward, not inflection. Good. And then release and take the other side. And the other side might be completely different. So you'll let the strap drape down, you reach around with the other hand. So top hand, palm facing the back of your head, bottom hand, palm facing away, and then you're pulling the strap apart. And notice the shoulders. So is the bottom hand, that shoulder, is it inflection? Draw the shoulder blade back. You might have to separate your hands a little bit more to keep that shoulder from flexing forward. Pull the strap apart and then notice what's happening in your spine. Are you slumping? If so, pull the lumbar spine in. Are you overarching? If so, draw the low ribs in, draw your core in, and tailbone down a little bit. There it is. Okay, release. Take the strap over to the side. Come up to hands and knees, remove your block. And with your body in the table position, just wag your tail, take your tail around in a circle. So dropping your hips back and then coming forward, moving around in one direction and the other. Warming up through the shoulders and the hips. Okay, and then coming to a neutral spine. And on your inhale, draw your chest forward, spread your tail feathers, let the belly hammock down slightly towards the floor, lift your gaze, cow. Exhale, press into your hands, round your back, drop your hips back into child's pose. Inhale, come back up into cow. And exhale, curl your toes, press up, downward facing dog. Inhale, come to cow. Exhale, round and scoot your hips back. Drop back to child's pose. Inhale, back up to cow. Curl your toes. Exhale, push up, downward facing dog. Inhale, knees come to the floor, come into the cow. Exhale, push round your back, then drop your hips back into the child's pose. Inhale, back up, cow. Exhale, curl your toes, press up, downward facing dog. So just a few rounds more on your own, linking your breath with your movement, maybe even the breath lasts a little bit longer than the movement. So there's a seamless movement happening from pose to pose. We call this a vinyasa. And I think we're being challenged kind of in our lives right now to not have this feel like a big hesitation this time, but a seamless movement. This is my life today. These months of being at home, not doing as much. It's still my life. Good. We're going to meet in downward facing dog. Meeting in downward facing dog. So here, can you draw the front of your thighs towards the back of your thighs? So you're pressing your thighs behind you. Bend your knees, everyone, and tilt your sitting bones up towards the ceiling, and then press the thighs back. Inhale, lift the right knee and bring the right knee to the outside of the right arm. Step back to downward dog. Lift the left knee and bring the left knee to the outside of the left arm. And then press back, downward facing dog. So you can do the inhale forward, the exhale back, or the reverse. It doesn't matter, but marry the breath, link the breath with the movement as you move back and forth, bringing one knee at a time forward to the outside of the same arm. Do 2 more on each side. And we'll meet in the downward dog again. Good. And from the downward dog, drop your forearms to the floor. So you're in more of a dolphin pose. Walk your feet towards your elbows. Draw your shoulder blades down, broaden through your upper back. Press the thighs back. Okay. And then drop your knees to the floor and slide back child's pose. Bring your arms alongside you. Interlace your hands at your sacrum and draw your hands away as much as possible, releasing some tension through the shoulders. And then release your hands, bring your hands alongside your body, and on your next inhale, slide yourself forward and come onto your belly. So forearms on the floor, parallel to one another, parallel to the long edges of your mat. So you're in the Sphinx pose. And then drop your head towards your chin, or towards your sternum, and then just draw your chin from one side to the other. And then take your hands down to the floor and make a little diamond shape with your arms. So hands stacked on one another, and your head will rest right on the mat in between your chest and your hands. So I'm just going to have my head up so you can hear me. Lift your right leg, stretch it long, and take it back down. Left leg long and take it back down. Good. Good. And then just pressing into your arms. Press into your arms and lift your head and shoulders. And exhale, release that back down. So keep drawing as you do this. Keep thinking length instead of height. Think about length more than height. And draw your tailbone down towards your heels. And draw your pubic bone towards your navel. So we'll do 2 more. Inhale brings you up, exhale brings you down. And then the next time you rest your forehead on the floor, lift your arms and draw the elbows back towards your hips as you lift. And then inhale, bring the arms straight. And exhale, draw your elbows back as you lift, press the tops of your feet into the floor, and elbows back towards your waist. So again, the inhale could be the stretching long, and the exhale could be the lifting, or the other way around. You'll inhale, reach the arms out in front, they stay off the ground. Exhale, draw the elbows towards the hips and shoulder blades towards one another. We'll do 2 more. And this last time, hold it. So elbows back towards hips, hands are hovering here right in front of you, and then just set your hands down beside your shoulders, press yourself up, and take your hips back. Widen the knees here and come into a wide child's pose, if possible, for your body. If it doesn't work in your body, you can keep your knees together and rest your upper body on your knees. Take another full breath here in child's pose. And then inhale up to all fours. Reach your hands a little forward, curl your toes, press up, downward facing dog. And on your inhale, slowly walk your feet up to your hands. Bending your knees deeply, drape your body over your knees. And then with your hands on your hips, pressing into your feet, come on up all the way up to standing Tadasana. Take a minute here in Tadasana just to feel the stability of the ground beneath you and your legs. Okay, and then we're going to inhale, come up on the toes and bring the hands behind to opposite shoulders. And I'm just going to turn around to show that. So you'll inhale, sweep your arms up, touch hands to opposite shoulders. Exhale, lower yourself down. Inhale, switch the cross of your arms behind. Exhale, back down. And continue that little pattern for a few more times. Coming up high on the toes. Finding your balance with good, strong, pulling the legs to midline. Okay, good. And then from here, separate the feet a little bit wider. Interlace your hands. Inhale, stretch the arms up. Reach up on your toes again. So reach, reach, reach. Whoa, it's okay to fall out. And then side bend to the right. If it's too much for the balance, come back down just to the sole of your foot on the floor. Inhale, the arms come back to center. And exhale, side bend to the other side. And we'll go a few times back and forth. So inhale, reaching up through the arms, and exhaling, side bend to the right, draw the hips to the left. Inhale back, and exhale, reach. Other side, good. One more time, each direction. Opening through the stickiness in the ribs, good. And then come back to center and come to the top of your mat. Top of your mat here, and we're going to inhale and come down into chair, Utkatasana. Now, here, imagine that you're squeezing a block between your thighs. You could if you wanted to, but it'll be hard for the next part. But squeeze the imaginary block between your legs. And then on your next inhale, Lift through the chest, through the heart space. Now on your next exhale, take the left foot back. Inhale, open up, exalted warrior. Inhale to reach the fingertips back. Exhale to settle. On your next inhale, sweep the right hand forward and come back into chair. Exhale, settle. Inhale, reach up, and exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift, crown is long. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come into chair. Exhale, settle, get strong. Inhale, step the right foot back. Exhale, get strong in your stance. Inhale, open up, exalted warrior. Exhale, settle. Inhale, sweep the left hand back, step forward, back to chair. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale to halfway, and exhale to fold. We'll try that all again on both sides. So inhale, sit back in your chair. Drop the pelvis back. Really feel the solid stance of your legs. And then on your next inhale, you draw the left foot back, stepping back into exalted warrior. Exhale, ground. Inhale, sweep the right hand forward, step back, chair. And then inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Press into your feet. Inhale, come to chair. Exhale, draw the strength of your legs for stability. Inhale, reach the right foot back. Coming into exalted warrior. Exhale, settle. Inhale, sweep it back, chair. Exhale, get that grounding. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, fold. Inhale, hands to shins, reach the crown long. Keep the back of your neck long. And exhale, fold. Okay, we'll add something this time. So inhale, come back to the chair. Pose, good. Exhale, ground and settle. Inhale, pick up the left foot, take it back, and come into exalted warrior. And now inhale, sweep the right arm forward as you straighten the right leg. And then exhale, drop into triangle. Just with the right hand on the right shin. Beautiful. Inhale, back into exalted warrior. Exhale, feel the strength of your legs. Inhale, sweep right hand forward, come back to chair. Exhale, really settle, be strong in the hips. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway, reach your crown long. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees, inhale to the chair. Exhale, you settle. Inhale, draw the right foot back and open up this side, exalted warrior. Inhale, straighten the front leg, reach the left arm up, and exhale, come into triangle on this side. Inhale, back to exalted warrior. Settle on the exhale. Inhale, sweep your hands forward, coming back to chair. Exhale, draw the navel in, draw the hips back. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to prayer and fold. We'll try that whole sequence one more time. So inhale to halfway, back of the neck long, exhale, fold. Bend your knees, come into Utkatasana, chair pose. Feel the squeezing of the thighs towards one another. Inhale, take the left leg back and open up into Exalted Warrior. Exhale, get strong. Inhale, straighten the front leg, sweep the front arm forward, come into triangle. Inhale, back to Exalted Warrior, bend the front knee, back hand comes down the back leg or to the sacrum. And then on your next inhale, reach the right arm forward, step forward in your chair pose. Inhale, reach up, and exhale, fold. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Bend your knees, take your hips back, come into Utkatasana. And then on your next inhale, draw the right foot back, open up. And next inhale, straighten the front leg, reach forward, triangle. Next inhale, reach back, bend the front leg, Exalted Warrior. Inhale, sweep the left hand forward, come back into chair pose. Next inhale, press up. Exhale, hands to heart center and fold. Inhale, pressing into your shins, reach your crown long. And exhale to fold. Okay, and then hands to hips. Inhale up to standing. And we're going to try a few balancing postures. So if you need to just move through your hips a bit, march on the mat, march in place. Just get here. So if you have some wall space, of course you can use the wall space. If you have a chair, which, oh, look at this, I have a chair. If you have a chair, chair can be nice for any of our standing postures. So I'll move that to the side for a second. Good. So put your feet firmly on the floor. And now press into your left foot and reach your right knee up. Bend the right knee, reach it up. Take your hands underneath your leg and then straighten the top leg. We already did this on the floor. Okay, we did this at the very beginning of the sequence. Now, you might be able to release your grip and hold your leg. A lot of hip flexor strength. Or you can take a strap to the end of your foot and hold it like that. Or you can continue just to hold underneath your leg. Good. And then we'll try the other side. So pressing into the right foot, lift the left knee up. And you could stay right here. This is a lot of work in and of itself. But as we straighten the top leg, a lot going on, pull your toes back towards your shins. Remember when we were on the floor, pull your shoulder blades in and down. Really stand strong on that standing leg and draw that, that outer hip in on the standing leg. Good, release. Okay, and just move the hips around a little bit, release there. Okay, and we'll try the other thing we did on the floor. So put your weight back into your left foot and bring your right leg up. And then out to the side.
out to the side. So some of you might want to try to bend the standing leg and take the top foot and then extend out. And come back. Good. So you could use a strap on the extended leg, or you could just leave the top leg bent. But when you come to the barrier, can you identify the barrier? So we have the barriers in our bodies, of course. It could be hips, could be balance, could be hamstring tightness, but it might be some other barrier. Could be fear. Put your weight into your right foot, lift your left leg. And then left leg out to the left. Keep your hips even. If you want to play with extending, you can bend the standing leg so that you can take hold of the top leg and then extend out. Whew. So you could do this against the wall. As well. Good, and then come back to center and just work through a little action in your hips. And then with or without the block, we're going to come into tree pose. So if you want a little, I guess it's just a little more interesting. You don't have to use the block. Actually, scoot my mat. Take the block. You can bring your left foot to the block and stand. Look like I'm out of the frame here. Come back. Standing on the left foot, draw that left hip in. Right foot can rest on left foot. So doing something a little different if you're using the block, a little different for the brain. Right foot to the left calf. Feeling for an evenness in your hips, or bend the standing leg. Press your right foot into your left leg. Press back with the leg. And then hands can help you balance from there. So draw the legs towards one another as if you're squeezing the block. Draw the belly up and in. So balance comes from stability, which is why I think right now some of us feel quite out of balance, because our stability, or the things we've put our trust in, is a little disjointed. And release. Let's try the other side. So right foot on the floor or on the block. If you're using the block, you're going to stand up, and that really helps you squeeze the leg in and really engage the standing leg. I think that's what is kind of cool about the block. And then the left foot can rest on the right foot against the calf or in the upper thigh. Squeeze the legs together. Really pull the muscles in. So you're pulling outer hip in on the standing leg. That'll really give you the stability. And you can play with your arm movement. Maybe you feel stable enough to move a little bit. Whoa. With your arms. And release. Good. Calm back down, and we'll come into, so I had the chair out. So just to show you, right, I can use the top of the chair for any of my balancing postures. Really a great support for any balancing postures. Good, so let's come to downward facing dog. Bend your left knee and draw your right leg across. Place your right ankle on your left knee. So you're in a figure 4. And then draw the hips back. Draw the hips back. You might bend your left knee deeply and drop the whole setup down towards the floor a little bit more. If it's too much, just go to the floor and do the figure 4 on the floor. And then release that. Bend the right knee and bring the left leg across and come into a figure 4 on the other side. Again, you can always go to the floor and just do the figure 4 on your back. Release the left foot back to the floor and then walk your feet up to the outsides of your hands. So you're kind of in a sumo wrestler kind of posture. And then drop your hips back. So you're in a squat, pressing your knees into your elbows into your knees. And then reach your arms forward. So you're in your squat, and reach your arms forward. And then drop your hips to the floor and take a full body stretch. And it might feel really nice here for a block to come underneath your sacrum because we worked with the hips and right underneath the sacrum, opening up the front of your hips, the hip flexors. Few breaths here. If this doesn't feel great on your back, or you can just come to the floor and keep your legs straight, or you could keep the block underneath your sacrum and bend your knees, coming into a supported bridge. Okay, so then let's have everybody, if you're on the block, come into bend your knees, bring the soles of your feet to the floor so you're in a supported bridge. Press into the back of your head and draw your shoulder blades underneath. Good, and then from here, press into your feet, lift your hips, and just move the block over to the side. And bring your arms up above your head, backs of your hands touching the floor. And then slowly on your next exhale, just roll down one vertebra at a time. And we'll do that a few times. The hands are just going to stay where they are. So we'll just lift the hips. Keep length in your spine. Keep length in the back of your head by almost drawing your chin in like you have a double chin. And then exhale, just come all the way down, one vertebra at a time. You can try doing this with the heels lifted. Just a little bit of different action in the legs. And you can try doing this with the toes lifted. So you feel the hamstrings engaging a little bit more and doing the same movement. Or you can keep the soles of your feet on the floor. And let's just do 2 more here. Pressing the hips up, reaching the knees away from the hips, so lengthening through
the tops of the legs. Okay, and then once we're all back down on the floor, take your right ankle over your left knee, like you were gonna do the figure 4 again, and then drop your knees over to the right. And you can use the top, the right ankle to sort of encourage the lengthening through the left leg as you twist. Arms out to a T. You can reach your left hand long and take your gaze to your left hand. And scoop your belly button towards the left, trying to point your belly button up towards the ceiling. Another kind of interesting thing to do while you're in this twist is to rotate the palms down to the floor and then up towards the ceiling. So just working a little bit in your shoulders. But if you're really digging just the relaxing twist, that's great too. And then slide the right ankle off of the left knee and bring your left knee now up towards your chest. So you're still twisting to the right. And then some of you might straighten that top leg. You might try straightening the top leg. And for me, I feel that more in my piriformis, the outer hip. It's a really nice stretch. Right hand can just rest on the outside of the left leg. Keep scooping your belly over to the left. And then on your next inhale, with the help of your right hand, maybe on that top leg or bending the knee, come back to center. Squeeze both knees into the chest and neutralize the spine a bit. And then we'll take the other side. So left ankle onto right knee. And then we'll draw the knees to the left. Start with the left ankle sort of pulling on the right leg. So you're encouraging length in the right leg. Arms out to a T. You can take your gaze to your right hand. Scoop your belly to the right. You could do the internal, external rotation with the arms if you want. You could even try that, just flip the palms without the shoulder rotation, so just working in the wrists. And then slide your left ankle underneath your right knee and draw your right knee up a little closer to your chest. You could stay right here, or you could straighten the top leg. So if the top leg rests on the floor, great. If not, you could use your left hand like a little kickstand, but you're in a big twist and the top leg is straight, if that works in your body. And then scoop the belly to the right. Keep the shoulder blades engaged on the floor. Good. Next inhale, the left hand can help, or you could bend the top leg, slowly come back to center, and then squeezing knees into chest, just a little rocking back and forth to settle any asymmetrical sensations there in your low back, your hips. And from here, then anything else you might need, a laughing baby or uh, supported shoulder stand with this block underneath your sacrum. Otherwise, you can stretch long on your mat and we'll come into final Shavasana. So options for Shavasana are always to take Shavasana on your belly. You could go to a wall and do legs up the wall. But here, let your feet just fall out gently, legs wide. Press your back of your skull into the floor and tuck your shoulder blades underneath. You might even take your hands back to the back of your head and just encourage some length in your neck, almost like you're getting an adjustment from the teacher in class when we get back to in live classes, right? And then palms up to the side, arms out to the side, palms up to the ceiling. And close your eyes, soften your gaze. Soften your heart. And receive the practice. Relax the muscles around your eyes and in between your brow. Relax the skin on your face. Just for a couple more breaths, can you let go of any holding? And of course, you can stay in Shavasana as long as you like. Or if you are ready, you can come up back to a seat. So these are pretty unique times we're in, but we still remain a community. We practice together in a virtual space, or maybe we practice alone, but we have that sense of the community. And I love this quote: "You cultivate the flower within yourself so that I will be beautiful." You cultivate the flower within yourself so that I will be beautiful. Namaste, friends. Have a beautiful day.